Life opens up doors when you truly find your purpose. Know it's so much to explore. Feel less, live more. The world's big, stay the course, cuz. Hey.
Hey guys, what's up? Keylila the Messenger here. So today we're going to talk about work and bills. I know, tell me about it. So we're going to talk about work, we're going to talk about bills, we're going to talk about business ethics, ethics in general, and work ethic. I think those are great topics. And here's the thing. We were not put here we were not created, we were not formed to wake up, go to work every day, figure out how to pay a bill, and do it all over again for the next 65 years. Right? That's not why we were put here on this earth. Think about it. Everything you need, honestly, it's true. It was given to us. I mean, we have land and grass. We have trees, right? So what do you make a house out of? You make a house out of a tree, right? And dirt and mud, wood. So we have more than enough material to be able to make houses to live in. We have, and you say, okay, what else do you need? What else do you need? You need food. You need food. So guess what? When you really think about it, we have food that will grow. And actually, when you finish with it, you can throw it down in the ground, and long story short, the food will reproduce itself. The seed, just say if you eat an apple and you plant the seed, you're going to get a multitude of apple seeds, a multitude of apples, right? So we have more than enough. We have grass to put our houses on. And so I think we have to think about it. And you got to say, well, wait a minute, what happens? So we have all this stuff, but, for some reason we have to kind of slave for something that was really already given to us, right? I mean, when you really, really, really think about it. So that's a whole other video all in and of itself, basically. But just to put things into perspective. So what we have to do, because we are in this scenario where we really were given more than enough food, shelter, everything it is that we need, and it doesn't cost a thing. Somebody has decided, we're gonna make it in order for you to live in a decent neighborhood and be able to get afford food and that sort of thing. It's going to cost you your literal arm and your leg to live comfortably. So while we're in this situation, we're going to talk about what we can do in the meantime. So we understand first and foremost that that's not something that we should do, as far as slaving ourselves, until we're too old to enjoy vacation or have a good time and that sort of thing. So that's not something that we want to do. So let's say we have to make a plan. Nobody's going to come out of the sky and give it to you. Nobody. Work, faith without work, it really is dead. So you're going to have to work in your mind, thinking of a plan, thinking of a strategy to get yourself out of the situation it is that you're in. And when you can't think anymore, and when you don't have any more resources, or you've run out of money, that's where the atmosphere is going to meet you. As long as you're doing your part, you're good to go. But you have to do your part. It's like you're waiting for the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is waiting for you. That's real. That's really, really real. So let's just say if you work for somebody, and you understand, you've been doing this forever, and you understand every 2 weeks when you get paid, what your money is going to. And you understand you're not going to have any more until that next 2 weeks. But Lord forbid you get sick in the meantime, and you don't have that money coming in. So you have to think of a way to say, okay, all right, I have this job. What can I do to bring in some additional income? We were all created, and we all have talents. We all have crazy talents, guys. I make this right here. Let me tell you something. Let me see right here. Up here. These are balloons. These are balloons that have been up for probably 2 months. And in your brain, you'll say, well, what will make you start a balloon company? Anybody can blow a balloon. Anybody can twist a balloon, right? And here's the thing, guys. What the universe has for you, the universe has it for you. I'll use myself as an example. And you have to ask yourself that question. You say, well, what do I have to bring to the table a little bit different from anybody else that, makes balloons or, creates beautiful things with balloons, arches, columns, that sort of thing. And we really had to think about that. And it's okay. What we do, we make sure we use quality material that's going to last a really, really long time. We have the ability to customize. We're going to offer this, that, and that, and that. We're going to make it a point to, people in 2022, they love to have things delivered. They like to have things immediately. And listen, so we broke all of that down. Anything we didn't know, you research it, and you keep it moving, and you keep it moving is what you do. A lot of people think it's a joke, and the thing is, because it's not possible for them. We just published a book. It's available on Amazon and everywhere. It's called The Secret Science of Making Six Figures with Air and Latex. And not kidding, air and latex. Air and latex. So if that's possible for us to pay all of our bills with these right here, right? If that is possible, listen, I know you can think of something. Whether it's, cooking or just whatever, shoot, we can strategize together, post it. I'll help you work it out, or, write it in the comments, your talent, your skill. So you're going to have to take that skill, and you're going to have to develop it. Meaning you're going to have to do the work is what you're going to have to do. Nobody's going to come and do it for you. You're really going to have to come out of poverty, to be able to truly live your life in peace and joy, to truly be able to enjoy your children. It's going to take some hard work on your end. All right? So if you work for somebody, I want you to start thinking about what you can do while you're working for somebody. In addition to that, obviously, there's the whole, not spending like a crazy person, living within your means, having to sacrifice, because it's bondage. That whole paycheck to paycheck situation, that is not it. Oh, I'm going to enjoy my life now. And, no, it's not fun being broke. Year after year after year after year after year. And then one day you're going to get really old. And so you have to have something. So you got to start thinking, and you got to sacrifice before it's too late for you. The thing is, if you're an entrepreneur already, so we understand that a lot of companies, a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't make it. They go too big too fast. They don't think they're plan out all the way through. They just, get into debt crazy fast. They don't have a great product. They've pretty much seen something that somebody else does, and then they've decided, hey, I'm going to join the Me Too crew. It seems like they're making a lot of money, and hey, I think I can do this too. So you want to be really, really careful about coveting and not choosing a thing that the universe has specifically for you. So you want to think really long and really hard about that. I want you to also understand that entrepreneurship is it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. But it's a lot of hard work. You're gonna work more hours than the typical person that's going in from 8 to 5, and they have a set of instructions, and they do what their boss tells them to do, and they get to clock out. And if they don't get to clock out on time, then some companies have it to where you you get paid for overtime, and some companies have mandatory overtime. I used to work at the police department, and obviously there's emergencies going on, and if certain people called off or there weren't enough people to take on the next shift, it was a mandatory requirement to to have to stay. It didn't matter if you had kids to take to school or whatever other scenario you had. That was priority, and if you didn't, you get written up. So that's for sure. That's not the type of life that I wanted for myself. And so I just talked to the atmosphere one day, and I'm like, hey, this is not working for me. Give me something. We've never had balloon classes or anything of that nature. So I just really had a deep conversation with the universe about helping me get to freedom. And I made a decision to be. You have to be, if you're going to go into entrepreneurship, you have to be responsible. You have to have self-discipline. A lot of people, will tell you, hey, college necessarily, isn't the way to go. You get into a lot of debt. You end up in a career that you absolutely hate and that sort of thing. But I would say college, what it does, it helps people to, like, if you don't have a lot of self-discipline, college is something that helps you learn to get somewhere, on time, right? You get there on time. You have to make the deadlines. You're accountable to other people. And, I think a lot of those assignments are setups. They'll have you up. You'll think it's something that's going to take you 30 minutes, and it's like a whole freaking all-nighter. So it teaches you endurance, and that sort of thing. So that's good. For anybody that didn't get that opportunity to go to college, no sweat, my pet. No sweat, my pet. Just honestly, it's there's so much knowledge out here today. Whatever it is, guys, Google, it's free. YouTube, it is free. But you have to dedicate your time. You have to dedicate your energy. You have to dedicate your being. You have to make a choice, and you have to run towards this thing if you want it. It's like, what do you want more? Do you want poverty more, or do you want freedom more? That's the decision that you have to make. And if you're rich, but you hate what you do, it causes you to be unethical. It takes too much time away from your family, and you can't really parent the way you want to parent. Then, guys, it's time to start thinking. Like, nothing is hopeless unless you declare it so. Like, unless you give up, nothing is hopeless. You can start right now, right where you are, and start adapting a completely different mindset about your life, about taking charge, about your freedom. You're not here to figure out how to pay a bill every month. You're not. So as long as we have that understanding, hey, we can move forward from there. We can move forward from there. You want to make sure whatever you do have ethics, morals, integrity. I didn't learn a lot of those words until I became an adult. You know, if you're gonna say, you know what, I want to start my restaurant, you know, there's that ethical dilemma. And just say when you're very first starting out and you don't really have the customers that you thought you were going to have, and you have some leftover food and it's been sitting there way too long, what are you going to do, right? So people they're going to remember that, and they're not going to come back. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff that you want to do. You know, in our industry, if you tell somebody says, hey, you know, I want a custom made, I'm going to have a gender reveal, and, you know, I want you to make me a life-size pregnant balloon lady, and I want her to have hair, and I want the reveal to be in the womb of the belly. You say, okay, and you give her your price. Listen, you better know, when you take these people's money, you better know how to create a life-size pregnant woman and know how to put the reveal in the belly, right? When you tell somebody, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do it. You collect their payment, and the end result looks nothing like, you know, the Pinterest photo that they sent you and that sort of thing, right? Because then you'll be out of business like really fast, guys. That's not what you want to do to people. It's true. You treat people the way that you know, definitely the way that you want to be treated. Anything is possible as long as you work hard, you dedicate yourself, and dedicate yourself to research, and, you know, do your homework before you get going good. Again, just making sure that you're not coveting, you know, someone else, and just making sure that you're original in what you choose to do. I hope that, you know, when I'm saying that these aren't just words. You know, she's saying this, but it's not possible for me, right? If you have those kind of thoughts, I need you in the comments. I need your information. Because this is what we're going to break through. It's possible for if you're breathing today, if you're alive, if man, where there is a will, I'm telling you, there is a way. I promise you. I'm the messenger. I'm telling you. The atmosphere will meet you right where you are. But it needs for you, it can't override your own will for yourself. No matter how much I pray for you, whoever I'm praying to the universe, the sun, the moon, the stars, it does not matter. If your will is saying, look, you know, it's hopeless. I'm tired. I give up. You know, I'm going to live this lifestyle instead. I tried. Then that's a situation that you're declaring over your life, over your own situation. So another person's will and prayers and hope for you, it maybe can influence, you know, kind of send some good energy and vibes your way, but your will gets the final say so. A word that is very, very important is it's called faith. So for the longest time, for example, I mean, it was just a word. I don't know what you mean, you know, faith. And I'll use the sample. Whether you are, y'all understand, I'm spiritual, period. I don't claim anything. I'm just a very spiritual person. And I'm not going to take away from the Proverbs that are in the original Hebrew Bible and these messages that these people left. So just say, for example, there's this one story, and it's Eshek, Meshach, and Abednego, and they said, hey, if you don't, the king said, hey, if you don't bow down to me, I'm going to put you in this furnace. I'm going to kill you. You're trying to worship this God, but you're here in my palace. And, if you don't, we're going to burn you alive. And Eshek, Meshach, and Abednego said, okay, fine. I don't care. Whether my God comes and saves me, or whether he does not, or whether she does not. I am not worshiping you. And so for the longest, I said, well, why would they serve that God if it's a God that's not going to come save them? And so finally it dawned on me, and it just said, you know what? They're just like one with whatever that king was asking of them and wanting them to turn to. It was not a good thing, and they knew it in their soul. So at the end of the day, they're saying, look, we're not serving wickedness. We're not serving a wicked ruler. So they're like literally on one accord with the universe, or with the good, the opposite of whatever that king was, basically. And it's like, no matter what, that's where they are. So the matter is settled in their hearts and in their minds. And it's saying, look, whether or not this God that I've been praying to comes or doesn't come, it's given me, even if you say, you know what, I am God, because the good book says that too. Didn't you know that you were gods? The good book says that. So even if it's you, you have the ability. You have the skill, everything that you need. It's within you to get yourself out of whatever situation it is that you're in, guys. There's no outside thing that's gonna come and remove, just say, your pain, for example. It's something you're gonna have to feel. You can't drink it away. You can't drug it away. You can't live in freaking la la land. You're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with it. So there are things that we can do in our lives, starting with our finances, starting with our own little teensy baby steps that we can move towards to get ourselves to freedom. If there are people in our lives that are negative, bad influences, not aspiring to be what you're aspiring to be, guys, if these people don't pay your freaking bills, I'm not understanding the obligation. I'm not. We're going to have to really get strong-minded about the circles that we keep, about the choices that we're making ourselves. Self-sabotage is a real thing. It's a real thing. So we have to make a decision and say, you know what? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? I'm tired. I'm tired. So like they say, if you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you got to start doing something different. You got to start doing something different. Einstein said it. It's insanity to keep doing the same thing, keep the same circle, keep the same freaking mindset, and you're expecting a different result. It's you. It's you. It's you. Back to faith. that when things get hard, no matter what, you make that decision, you make that oath to yourself, and you stick by it. Because there's still a chance as long as you have breath in your body. And when it gets too hard for you, say, you know what? I don't have to do anything else except for breathe today. I'm gonna lay in this bed. I'm gonna inhale. I'm gonna exhale. I'm gonna turn off my phone. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to exhale. And I might take a nap. When I wake up, I want to put my big boy and my big girl pants on. Because we're here, guys. No matter how horrible it is, no matter how wicked it is, we have to make a conscious decision about what it is that we can do, what we can control, and what we cannot control. And we have to get really real about what it is that's actually going on out here in the world today. People are not receiving truth. I had a lady the other day, she was trying to make her point about, I don't know, something about boy on boy and girl on girl. And, you know, and literally this lady said, well, no, you know, men were actually created, you know, to do other men. And listen, they can make that decision, but we understand we're the female situation, and then we understand the guy situation, right? So people will say anything to make their point. It doesn't matter what you want it to be. For example, you know, you gotta say the boo-boo area, that's where you boo-boo. That's where feces come out of, right? And bacteria. So yes, you can make a decision to do anything you want to do, but when you talk about what it was actually made for, and you start saying stuff like that, you know, we got a lot of people going off to la la land, people not caring about truth, people not caring about decency, right? So I'm just saying, if you don't want to hear that stuff, this is the wrong channel for you. And I'm saying we can work through it together. But the ultimate decision is going to be truth. Not my opinion, not your opinion. It's going to be the truth. How are we going to discern the truth? We're going to discern it with logic and rationality. You're not going to argue with me for the sake of freaking arguing with me. I beg of you to not argue with yourself about right and wrong and order and what you need to do to become a better person, to gather a better work ethic. If you're a nasty, mean person inside, fix it. How are you going to expect to be blessed in the universe? You know what kind of wicked nonsense you do on a daily basis? Cut it out. Cut it out. Make a decision. Fix it. You're poor. You're in poverty. You're not where you want to be in life. Guys, let's cut it out. You're rich. You're not where you want to be in life because you understood all the crazy stuff you had to do to get there. How unethical you had to be to get there. So we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it together, guys. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. All right, till next time.
Life opens up doors when you truly find your purpose. Know it's so much to explore. Feel less, live more. The world's big, stay the course, cuz. Hey.